Okay. I see that. Are you running both Twitch and YouTube?
Yeah, well, I always do.
Okay. I figured you did, but you just mentioned YouTube, so.
Yeah, well, yeah, want to get the ads going like they need to be. Webcam.
Shoot.
There we go. I like my new mic arm I got. Better than just the little tripod thing I was doing before.
Yeah.
Well, mostly because I can just swing it. Probably mostly because I can just swing it out of the way.
Yeah.
Here. Okay, I forget what we did. We rolled that field, right? And
Yeah. Um, we've got three kind of smaller fields to pick or cut.
okay.
Um, so if you want to grab the combine and go to 14, which is just right up the road from where it's parked. Literally, just go to your left and just take the road across the tracks. I'm lining a field and I'm almost done.
Okay. Oh, oh, I know what I was going to ask you on your little golf marker deal. What they couldn't or wouldn't make it, but what material was it going to be made out of?
They made it. It was made out of 7 gauge.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it. I've
Okay.
got they actually I don't know that they charged me for it.
Okay, maybe that was it. But and I'll get this. Well, actually I need to do a tweak and run another one just 3D printed. Maybe make it slightly bigger. It'll print a little better. Um, the pieces that kind of make the innards of the bone are just a little bit well, just sort of, well, they're a little thin. Yes, and I have to well, because they're thin, I need to adjust my print setting and it'd go a little better. But I think it worked decent for first,
Yeah.
just kind of in a way guessing everything. The only thing is it was like how do I switch tool because I gotta oh, never mind, I figured it out. Figure out how to do that. Yeah, it was just real like the file when I put it in the slicer before I can print it, it's like super tiny, like dimensionally. The
Yeah.
program thought it was like super tiny, and I don't know if that's just the way whatever program you use exported it. Um, and I've had and it's not like you did anything because I've had this. It's probably me not knowing something because I've had this sort of issue with other downloaded STLs, you know, well, just by looking at them, it's hard to know how big they are, and then you get them in there, and I was like, oh, that's way too big, or that's way too small, whatever, and then I have to kind of scale it or adjust it to what I wanted. But this thing was like microscopic. The program like was microscopic. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know you would have drawn it in whatever scale dimension, you know, it's supposed to be. How big is it supposed to be, like width wise? The way I
About an
printed it is
inch,
about
or
the
maybe
size of a quarter. You know, it's like the size of a quarter.
about an inch, I think.
Okay, then that's about what I scaled it up to. But the program had it like less than a quarter inch diameter or whatever. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it could have been more me not. I'm still not expert at this, and I trial and error. You
Yeah.
know. Like I said,
Well,
most things come out, and even this, you know, it came out pretty good. There's some little setting changes, and I printed it's gold filament, which, you know, I haven't printed much in it. I may not have the optimal. You know, it's kind of a trial and error thing once you get kind of once you kind of get used to a filament and then you change, it's everything different. But it only
yeah.
took like 10 minutes to. And then I made it like, like a quarter inch thick or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing though with, you know, out of metal or whatever, it'll have some heft to it. But this would still.
Yeah, for what it's for. Because it's just to sit on top of the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because I've never asked for anything before, and then I'll also like they told me they normally charge like 250 a piece for them, and I'm assuming they probably cut these out of scrap they had and stuff, so they
Yeah.
probably didn't charge me, and I haven't really asked them for anything, so.
Well, yeah, they probably figured, okay, you're not trying to run an Etsy store.
Yeah.
You know, getting something for nothing.
Um. But I brought in that other file that you sent me for the one that you use as a marker
Oh,
to
right.
mark the golf balls, and it came in, but because it's already meshed and everything, it won't let me cut it.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to think about how I was going to do this, and then I was like, oh yeah, well I can measure it out, so I can basically recreate the shape, and 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 then I can cut the image into it then that way.
Yeah. You know what?
And then
You mentioned it was already a mesh or whatever. See, I have Mesh Mixer, but I haven't messed around with it as much, so I'm not really sure what tools do what. That's really the thing. I mean, I I downloaded it's free, and you know, after watching some videos and stuff, it's like, okay, if you're going to do your own modeling, you might need this program so you can take parts off of one model and put it on others, and then, you know, meld them together and make them look decent. But I mean, you know, there's a little bit of artistry to it, and also, but like with anything, you kind of got to know what the terminology of certain tools. I got it mostly because when I need to make something that's hollow and I need to make it solid. You know, that was the main
yeah,
original first reason I downloaded it, because it's like, oh shoot, okay, this thing, like the slicer thinks it's hollow because of the way it exported out of Tinkercad. Doesn't know it's salt, looks like it, but like I said, as you know, the program doesn't know it's solid, so it's supposed to be, yeah. But there's tweaks like you can crank the polygons up and down and all around, and pros and cons to doing that. I mean, obviously, more polygons, the more detailed it's gonna be, but also that's the bigger file, and also longer it'll take to render and all that stuff. Which
You'll probably have to unload that combine before you go into the next field.
about 60%. So,
Yeah, but they're not the same material, I don't think.
are they not? It looks like it. Well, but it does.
Well, it'll start cutting into it, but eventually it's not going to.
Okay, well, it like it did. What's up? I thought these two feel, because these are like birthday deal. I thought these were both the same. I didn't even think about it.
Well, it's not the same yet. Yeah, I had to start over again. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Is I thought I remembered it being same.
And I'm almost done with Limey, and I can kind of help out there.
Oh, I won't. At this.
Well, I'm gonna change tractors out anyways, and then because this tractor was actually supposed to be on that, but then also I need to cart that stuff over.
Well, yeah. This probably won't. Maybe it'll hold. You kind of mentioned storms. It's kind of trying to do something out here, but not. I don't think it's gonna.
Well, they so far have
Like there's something coming over the like I can see coming over the mountains, but then the sun peeks way through, so it's probably as it's gonna. It's doing something in the mountains, and it'll stop at the foothills, pass over most of the city, and then hit the eastern plain.
um
And then eventually
had
get to you.
one
And then eventually get to you.
we had one to the southwest of us, and then right now there's Carney's getting hit. Um, to the northwest.
We haven't had any rain in, I think, May. One
This
like
week,
10-minute afternoon shower, but I'm like it.
this weekend's cruise night.
Yeah, I saw a notification, or I think my folks ran up for the day to look at cars.
Oh, today, like unless they were going to the auction or something.
Or not today, tomorrow. They're going tomorrow. That's right.
I was gonna say because tomorrow's the car show.
But and then the cruise is tomorrow night too. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. They were going up. I was thinking they're going up after my mom gets off work to go. I talked to her briefly. That's why for some reason thinking it was or they went up today. Going up tomorrow after she.
I see.
Do they still get a pretty good turnout, or?
I'm assuming so. I haven't been to it for years because I don't want to be in the chaos.
Well, yeah. Like, do they still have it down on Central, or they got the cars parked elsewhere?
No, as far as I know, that's still all
Okay,
on
so
Central because
it hasn't outgrown that then.
no, I don't think it ever will.
Well, that's kind of where I was wondering. Kind of it's like the KBPI show. Of course, probably not going to happen this year because they don't have where to go with it. But of course, I wouldn't know. Can't listen to KBPI anymore. Literally,
Oh,
you can't get it in the city. I mean, it's static, essentially. I mean, you can tell they're broadcasting, but I mean, it's unlistenable. So I haven't listened to Willie in about seems like about 2 months because it's like all of a sudden I don't put on the iHeart. I mean, I could, but car. That's the only time I have a chance to do it. And
hmm
so yeah, I guess if they have a temporary venue, like the only other place to have it that I can think of that could handle the turnout, they'd have to go not much up north. They'd have to go south to like Pikes Peak International Raceway or something, Colorado Springs, but that would hamper the turnout.
hey,
Everybody,
John.
everybody comes to it. They're all from the Denver. Well, not they wouldn't drive. It's just less people, spectators and all, less convenient
Yeah.
for most people.
No, what I mean by that is, I mean they could outgrow. Heck, they were about ready to outgrow the downtown area when I used to go, and that's been
Well,
years
that's
ago.
why I
But
wondered: is it
I
did
I
it?
think they're so dead set on having it down there that they would probably and they'd probably limit entries, but
Yeah.
maybe not. But I think they're so dead set on having it down on the bricks that
Well, it's the perfect place. I loved it down there. It's the atmosphere. It makes sense, but of course, more cars means more. Again, like with the KBPI deal, it got so big. I mean, that not that there was ever any issues, but it's just there could be, just because of so many people wandering around and cars moving back and forth, staging lanes, that stuff.
well, I will say like so that part has the events have kind of outgrown things because like yeah the car show maybe at the bricks but there's like I think it started Tuesday night this year and goes until Sunday. There's and then like I'm sure on Saturday there's multiple things going on around town.
Well, that's kind of good.
It's not just a car. I mean, it is a car show, but it's not just a car show anymore.
Well, and the other thing I kind of was curious about is, you know, boomers are booming. They're getting old. I mean, uh, and you obviously out here though you got more people, more diversity, all that stuff that contributes. So there's younger. What I'm getting at is there's younger people with um cars, but again, the cars are getting newer. It's more. I mean, there's still the classics, but there's you're getting into the 80s and 90s stuff. The hot cars that were new when we were young.
Yeah.
MR2s and the Supras and the all that RX-7.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, and then of course like third and fourth gen Camaros and bit and all that that were just you know Swanee's Camaro, I guess you could say, era, which back in the day, those were almost a dime a dozen. You almost couldn't trip over your, walk around the corner without running into those, and nobody. Now those are the cars that are showing stuff, younger crowd, and but out here more people, more diversity again. But back there, I just didn't know what kind of, and then resto mods. I guess that's the other thing. Resto mod, very less original or near original stuff. That's the thing. Like, and I'm only judging my KBPI, but at KBPI, it was hard to find a bone stock original something. Even a Chevelle.
Yeah.
You couldn't even find just a, like Larry Tam's, his car. You couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be plenty of them, Chevelles, but then they're swapped, LS swapped, or they got suspension swapped. And I get it. You want to make it an easy driver, but part of what I enjoyed is getting to see that kind of car, more or less how it would have been driving around, as if Dazed and Confused was real. It was just a new car at the time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Which I guess that's the other thing. It's like now with the 80s and 90s, maybe early 2000s, those it's hard to see like a bone stock Eclipse. They're all riced out, Fast and Furious style. And which it's that's cool, but at a certain point, it's like, okay, I remember those new, but I'd like to see with its original wheels and its original paint and seats and interior. It's not like you don't, but it's like that's not the common. And then a lot of lifted trucks. And
Mm-hmm.
I do actually enjoy. There was a kind of a club that does kind of some replica, replica movie cars. Now, granted, a lot of them aren't super screen accurate, but it's it's just fun to see somebody get the gist. Jurassic Park Jeeps and things. Or actually, it's kind of in my neighborhood, on neighborhood adjacent. Somebody who's made a I guess a replica of the Pizza Planet, Toy Story, or Pixar. Pizza Planet pickup.
Oh.
It's it's just an old 2-wheel drive Toyota pickup, but like white. They got the topper, and they made the blimp deal on the top that says Pizza Planet, and every once in a while you see it driving around. I mean, the thing is like, probably like most people don't get it,
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think you wouldn't probably immediately, but then you'd be like, wait a minute, I kind of, because it.
No, I don't. I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm just and
Well,
other
it's
than
a.
you said it was from what movie it was, but I'm
Well,
like, otherwise I don't know.
it's in every single Disney Pixar animation. I mean,
Yeah, but I don't watch those anymore.
Well, no, but neither do I. I mean, but it's not prominent in like Cars movie, whatever. It made its debut in Toy Story, but let's see, where do I dump that?
Go up the road, all the way back to where you were.
Okay.
To the, it's basically everything's that basically that area where we parked everything is the farm.
I guess I figured.
And then on the other side there's a little silo. Nope. nope. You went the wrong way. You
Is it
need to
is it
keep
on
going up the
the
road.
road?
Nope. Yes, it's on the road. You need to
Oh, see,
keep
okay,
going
like
up
where we
there.
were filling up.
It's a little bit further up the road from where we were filling up.
Well, I just saw these places. I mean, I didn't figure they were these,
That
but
is for that stuff is for silage,
okay.
and then I'm
Well, I'm just
trying to
looking
get
at all the blue dots, but I think I see.
yeah, it's a red bin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember when you put this. It's been a couple weeks.
Okay, I'm gonna move your combine. There's one more field left to do over here.
Okay, I wondered up the road from that field.
Yeah, because there was a green field right next to you, if you remember, and then right on the other side of that field is one more, and that's the last field to harvest. And then, actually, what we'll do is, when that field is done, we're gonna skip a day. We're gonna skip to September. I've been While you've been doing that, I've been setting up for the next job, but we won't do it till September.
Okay.
We're gonna start making silage. Um, yeah, basically everything there is parked. It's that's our farm basically.
Okay. That. Yeah, I
I
remember you
guess think
saying
of
they
it
having it more centralized
without
or.
building buildings, that's our farm.
Let's see. I don't know if I've talked to you recently. I don't think I told you this because I talked, but that big high-end car show that's invite only.
Uh,
Well, I got invited back, so
nice.
and I'm gonna work it, and because I have more than like 2 weeks notice, well, we'll get lined up so everything lined up so Katie can um Katie can come this. And actually, tell you the truth, I don't know when, but I'm gonna probably make a quick out and back round trip deal because I want to go grab one other motorcycle and one different one. May maybe back there quickly. It'll be like it'll probably be a come in on Friday night and turn around Saturday, but maybe if I decide to stay the whole day and drive back Sunday, maybe we'll depending on I don't know when. Maybe we can get together, but
Yeah.
I'm not. It kind of depends. I got other do, so I might need that. Might have to just turn and burn, and because I need I need Sunday to do things. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be possibility, but bring I'll bring one of the bikes I did last time, and then. But yeah, they got the invite about a week ago, and I'm just kind of waiting for the. Yeah, kind of excited so Katie can. I wanted her to be able to go, but another thing, backyard barbecue get together thing, bunch of kids and parents and stuff, and they had fun, but it's a unique event, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, well, just people watch. I mean, if if you just want to go, it's it's $250 a person. I mean, that's $250 a plate, I guess, because you do get a meal. I mean, yeah, $250 or 1,500 for a table of 4, or $10,000 for a table of 10. I mean, it's a fundraiser. It's certain cancer reason. It's been going on for, this will be the 23rd 23rd annual, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's the silent auction stuff, and like the cheapest silent auction thing starts at like, oh well, I take this back. I was gonna say it was like $400, but actually they do have like $60-$80, kind of like some sports menu, like or a little bit of like sports memorabilia kind of stuff, and then like
Huh.
bottles of, you know whiskey or liquor or something, high end stuff, and those start at like 50 or $60. But then next thing is like starts at like $400, and then when they start doing the real auction, it's like they're auctioning off, like trips to Greece and stuff like that. It's like, and I'm sure it's a good deal, but it's like, they're, well, again, it's, for the tax write-off deal, but also, I'm sure you're getting, and it's donation, so people are overpaying, but I mean, it's like, trips to this or that going for 8 and 10, people are bidding up 8 and 10 grand. I mean, some of these people are flying in on their private jets for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that's where it's at Centennial Airport, which is a like a private airport for like more commuter flights. There's no, um, I don't even think they can land. I don't know, you know, they can't land like 747s or whatever there.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually they have hangars for, for lack of a better way to say, hobby pilots or whatever too. But you can, you know, I mean, that's just one of the title sponsors is Gulfstream, and they have one of their planes there, and you tour it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, new and old, and one, like talking like Jay Leno type cars there.
Yeah.
Like I said, the most common last year, the most common car that was there was a well, I guess there was two cars that I'd consider maybe common cars, common car show cars. But even then, they really weren't, because they were where it was a, you know, one of like 300 GTO Judge, and then yeah, and then like a Plymouth Superbird with the Hemi, which they only made a few hundred of those too. But other than that, there was like two Mustangs, but not just Mustangs. They were real GT 500s and GT 350H. You know,
Uh,
there was GT 40s and old there, but like those were the most like regular cars, like cars we've probably been able to see up close.
yeah.
But other than that, you don't generally get to see Aston Martin DB5, in the flesh without going to like the, Reno or Las Vegas and see like the Harrah's collection I have. Um, yeah, there was a Lamborghini Countach there. I've never seen one of those close up.
I
F40s, GT 308s, with a Magnum PI version of Ferrari, and
I've seen the Magnum. Actually, I've seen Magnum PI's, the actual car. Um, not a replica or anything, but that was because I was at Universal
well,
Studios.
I've seen it at Universal, but I'm
I was
talking.
trying to think if I've seen. It seems to me like I've seen a Countach before, but I don't remember where or why.
But then there's other.
It wasn't at a car show. It was just like I just happened to, by happenstance, just saw one.
Yeah. Well, and then like McLaren P1s, F1s, and then like actual race cars, like street legal. I guess the only other, I don't know how common, but there's a club in Denver here, a DeLorean, but I've seen those. Those are out of that bunch. Those are sort of common. You do
Yeah.
occasionally see them driving around here because there is a club, and I've seen them show up to other cars. But trying to think. Well, and then like is that an Acura? The LFA. No, I can't remember. It's a modern, but those kind of cars.
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of them
I
though.
can't either. Um, and then of course, like on the motorcycle, there's some, guy. Say I'm friends. I know him, but he has a bunch of says triumphs. 60s, 70s. But then there's 1918 Henderson and that, but it's all guys from these clubs, and that's why I have probably the more those more, I guess, sort of common bikes. Or but that was the funny part is guys that I I was kind of looking at their stuff kind of envious in a way, and the guy who won the motorcycle show, when we were packing out, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know it was you that brought these, because I thought I recognized those bikes. I've seen those on the internet." It's like, oh, and he was all asking me all this stuff, and he's like, where'd you find them parts for that, and how'd you get that, this, that, and fixed up and stuff. And here he has, I forget what it was, but an incredibly rare bike that has all this like cast pieces, and I'm like you're asking me, like, dude, to restore your bike you got to have somebody who like knows how to make a mold and like cast a new part if you're gonna replace something on your bike. So, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it was because when he was young, that was the bike he lusted after, and he never got to have one. you know Never got it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Remember when that kind of thing. And that's the other thing, is I had a lot of, like pilots and stuff, um, because they had bikes like, and that's what one of the motorcycle guys says. Oh, your bikes are going to go over well because, even though, this old stuff, that's really super rare is fun, but it's like most people never owned it or rode it. It's historical pieces. It's like yours, like bring back nostalgia. Yeah, I guess I kind of see that, and that's what it was. Is all these, well, now old pilots, but when they were young, these are the bikes they got their kicks on because they were cheap. mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You're down the line, you're gonna look back at your days on your 400DX, and somebody's gonna be like, "Well, actually, they kind of are." Even though they were a dime a dozen, it's like they're kind of the vintage outside of the 250R and all those kind of things. That era of sport quad. Yours was the second generation or birth, I guess you could do. And it's like they're kind of now they are the quads, the old guys. Oh, I remember sport quad. They're kind of. I've been in some of my motorcycle groups. I've noticed they've gotten kind of. I guess you could argue popular because they're simple. Partly because you can still buy them cheap and they're simple. Just
Mm-hmm.
run. Well, and Banshee's still got its legendary status, even though it's like those are things are horrible, but yeah, they're fast. But like the younger folk are getting discovering, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing like the Blaster. It was pretty crude, but a hoot ride because it was damn light. You could throw it around.
Oh, I think I just lost my Streamlabs.
Uh-oh. Speaking of
Yeah,
that,
for some reason.
I let
I
Tucker
think it
mine.
just, yep, I think it just shut itself down. Okay, well, whatever. I guess I'm done streaming for the
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Well, that was the thing. I let Tucker Minecraft a little before supper tonight, and he came and said, "Oh, it just shut down." So I don't know. It ran into a problem or something. The computer didn't crash or anything. It wasn't like what happened to me the other. I don't know. But who knows? He might have accidentally closed the window and.
Uh, Speaking of that, I think I have a new theory on what's going on with my out of war game.
Yeah.
I think it's because I think what's going on is because it's on Steam. Steam needs a constant connection and
Yeah.
to the internet, and then because I'm streaming, that's why it starts crashing the that's why it starts crashing Streamlabs first, and then if you keep it going,
You just don't have enough
then
bandwidth and.
then yeah, and I think to tell you the truth, I think I've had this problem before, and it's just like, unfortunately, until they get me fiber, I'm probably never gonna get through it.
Well, I was just gonna say that. It's like, well, fiber's gonna solve that problem, but yeah,
Yeah,
they
but for
that's a
some reason
ways off.
they
Yeah.
haven't called me yet about finishing it up.
Well, they got to get the infrastructure.
Well, like I was telling Casual last week, they probably got 50 houses to do. I'm probably number 47, and they're probably on number 12.
Yeah. All right. Is all this gonna be able to fit in there? I got 20, 30. Yeah, maybe it will. Otherwise, I can drive. No, I got 2%
No,
in there. You know what I'll do? I'll drive because we're done at this side of the
yeah,
army. Well, I'll drive over and empty the rest. And
okay,
just
yeah,
a little bit.
and then actually, I'm gonna skip because we don't have a house. I don't have a house on this, so Anyways, yeah, it finally dawned on me. That's probably what's going on.
I wouldn't think the
Um,
connection for Steam, well, it may require it. Wouldn't think it would require like, little blips here and there. I mean, you know,
I think what it needs is I think it just needs to verify that it's a Steam game every so often for some reason,
yeah.
and then it for some reason that hangs things up. Like I have enough to stream, but I don't have enough to um
Maintain that whenever it needs to
that
do a
connection.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's possible.
because it seems to me I was trying to remember. I've had this problem kind of before. I think it was on ATS. Might be on because that's another thing I play a lot of on Steam. I think it's crashed before, but so anyways, I think we get through the summer, the hot days or whatever, and then it'll probably get better. Either that or if they do happen to get me my fiber like they're supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, one thing you could try, I guess, is you hate to turn down the bit rate, I guess, but you could maybe just turn it down just a little bit so it's not pumping as much through, and maybe that's enough. I don't know. You just have to experiment. Where it's so finicky sometimes that might not be a viable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of hate to do
When
that because that chops your quality for viewers.
yeah.
See, you don't really have any other devices trying to internet things.
No.
I mean, you don't have. Oops.
Or just here, hold on.
Well,
Just
I was gonna unhook and do all that. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
All right. Okay, if you want to sleep or whatever.
Nope, we're already on September.
Oh, okay.
Um so there is a mower if you tab through
Oh, I see.
in the field that we need to do is in front of you.
One, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also before you start mowing down the row, you need to turn it into work mode, and I think that is you got to hit both buttons or you got to hit the right top button. You got to use the top buttons to flip to the right menu and look for work mode.
Oh,
Because when you toggle into that, then it sets it up in a
what do I want?
line, and we don't
Okay,
have to win your.
what do I want? Swat, left swath, right swath, wide spreading. Want.
Um, I didn't know that it told you that. You just kind of want it. I don't care which way. It just needs to be swathed.
Okay. Off drop. Probably will. All right.
It's slow at lowering.
Okay. I'll come back.
Oh, you're going to just because the front drops in front of you, and then the back drops.
Well, I have it select work mode swath dropping. I figure that's what you want because you're going to go right
Yeah.
behind me and pick it up.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know what the other. I guess it just kicks it the way or.
Sound like it. Okay. Yeah. It does. I think the reason why that is because when you pick it up, you're supposed to pick it up on the move, so that basically it's supposed to replicate that you're not gonna hit that swath at the end.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean that is more like realistic. The lag of the hydraulics.
You gotta comment on your
Oh yeah.
Twitch there.
Oh hey, Scott Larsh. Who that is, but thanks for watching on YouTube. Yeah. I sometimes forget to look up. I think that's probably a bot, but when they just say hello like that, I figure that's probably
Oh
there's bots on you. Like
yeah. Um
say hello again or tell me where you're from, what state if you're a real
I watched I don't know if you remember him. He's been in my stream before, but MJ Woody.
Okay, yeah, no, I do. I've not lately, but I've
Uh
caught him.
yeah, he hasn't been in lately. But he uh he got bot followed attacked last weekend.
Oh,
And then um I think they're gonna try and get me, but I've got I'm not gonna say with 100% certainty, but I've got those extra bots set up.
yeah.
I think they'll counter attack that.
I I don't notice it too much when watching in the morning, but again, I'm not always in first thing, and
Yeah.
that sometimes can be when they get
Well,
you.
it's because I do that have those two bots kind of hiding in the background. The ones that have tried have kind of found that it's not going to work, and so they've kind of moved on. Um, but I think this there's a new one that's gonna. I don't know. I can't say they're gonna certainly try, but um they actually whispered me to ask me when my schedule was.
These the bots are getting kind of sophisticated, then I guess.
Well, because I mean, the person running them is the one that whispered me, not
Oh,
the.
okay. Well, with all this AI stuff, I kind of wonder if that, you know, just a bunch. Well, it's hilarious on, like Twitter and other, not just those type of platforms, but other.
But
Well, I hung up on the turn it around.
oh, you got hung up on the
On
fertilizer.
the yeah. Well, I thought I turned soon. But yeah, on you know sometimes websites and like where reviews and things like it's AI generated or bot generated reviews, and then it's like bots commenting on bot posted comments and stuff. It's a bunch of bots talking to each other. Um, gonna be an interesting few more years until until the companies that develop this stuff realize that that's not making them figure out how to some of that maybe.
Yeah.
It's is it actually registering the grass you pick up that's outside of the technically field boundaries?
Yeah, cause
Okay.
I own it all.
Okay. Making silage,
I
I can just mow the whole damn thing, I guess.
yeah. Well, just that's fine if you do. Just I wouldn't go down the hill.
No, I meant I that's what I meant. I was just gonna
Cause yeah, yeah, like when Casual and I did this that weekend of my birthday, we actually did trim along that edge of that top and come around. We actually came around that bend down there,
yeah.
um, a little bit too. But yeah, I mean we can. I just coming up and down that hill with this thing sometimes, especially when it's loaded,
It doesn't have enough
is
power. Yeah. Well, I noticed.
well, it might. It's just that it's a little slow because it's got to haul that grass up the hill.
Yeah.
While I was trying to pick up more grass.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you might have saw some of it, but let Tucker play on the rock crawling deal. Well, what he did is just buy a bunch of buildings and making fences. He did drive around a little bit. Finally found the jumps and stuff and kind of doing that. Trip was watching and he was happy. They were laughing watching the cars fall off the edge and stuff.
This weekend, I'm gonna do a new map. Actually, it's a Canadian map. It's
Okay.
Saskatchewan.
Oh, We won't be on tomorrow morning because Tucker's got a game at 8 in the morning,
Oh, okay.
our time. I mean, if I'm watching, I'll have it on just to give you a view, but we'll be watching one.
Okay. Maybe
But
I'll
yeah,
I'll farm then or something.
now Sunday I'm gonna go up. I got days off, then we're camping and place that's got river or stream, I guess you'd call it, running valley, and we're gonna do a little bit of prospecting. I
Nice.
bought a pocket sluice, so just they can and you should be able to find somewhere. But like this place, the pyrite, you can almost just see it in the water. It's so plenty.
Huh.
We'll bring the RCs and I might get my act together. Might make a video about it.
Yeah.
Edit together like prospecting or I don't know. I'm really too hard.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring their you know toys and that. Like we went up there for a day and a little bit of a dam and dammed up it to make a pool. Well, and me and Tucker about this gone camping when finally old his first radio is hams. Now we'll all just
Oh, nice.
when it was just me and Tucker, we just pick up, but we'll bring a little more.
Yeah.
But it's a place that get into. Well, with a car basically, not all the way, but you don't need anything special.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of. Be like driving a minimum. I was thinking in the FS25, of course, part of it is graphical, but like for you, I wonder if they've improved the textures like the landform. I mean, I'm sure they have, but I'm just wondering how much better they like maybe the rocks and not that that
Um.
not that that contributes to the gameplay, but it's maybe more extra
Well,
realism.
they've kind of. I don't know about rocks. Haven't talked about rocks. What they've really talked about as far as graphics go is that um they added what is called by gamers God rays, and in order to do that, they had to add fog. Um,
Well, see, you got that RTX. You got uh, you got ray. You can do or have the ability of ray trace. I don't. That would help a lot, even in this game wasn't probably specifically developed with, but
yeah, yeah, they built it on a new engine, and yeah, it's supposed to have what they call God rays, and then like the fog. They didn't really talk about they didn't really talk about the rocks or anything, but then they've also talked about how I think the ground is supposed to be a little bit more dynamic.
well, I guess, and that's the other thing. I mean, it's has some, like tire treads and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I guess you were telling me about mud holes and stuff, and yeah, that might be the biggest thing that's kind of missing here is yeah, when you go through a ditch, yeah, the thing moves and it slows down and stuff, but I mean, other than like some extreme textures, like if I drove off this cliff, it's pretty much like we're doing on the rock crawling. I mean, that tractor in real life, of course, couldn't do that, and we all know that. But it was honestly a little too easy, and it's like they added some, slipperiness, or yeah, like a mud hole splashes, or that. I think that would add. For me, it would add definitely like add to it. I think.
Yeah, the only instance that I have that I can pull from for that, though, I've seen the mod that they um currently use on 22 for that. I didn't care for it too much. I thought it looked a little bit too unreal because like the tractor, the one I saw, the tractor dipped down and it dipped way too far down in my opinion. In in real life, like if the tractor dipped that much into the mud hole, I don't think it's getting out. It's like that
Yeah.
was a little unrealistic. And then the other part of it too, to me, is I've dealt enough with mud in real life. It just it's just frustrating and one thing that I just don't want to deal with.
Well, right. I mean, and turn it off or, but just when you want to play around, maybe, or
Well, I don't know if you can turn it off. That'll be something we'll have to see if it's something you can turn off or if it's just permanently in the game. It's like I don't know how you would turn something like that off.
yeah, I guess, yeah, yeah, I can see that. Because other than adding, more management, of course, different crops, and of course the whole irrigation, I still don't understand how they haven't and haven't incorporated that type of thing into it.
Well, I think they like okay, so uh, I think it's stuff on their list of things to do, but see, like the GPS and the seasons and the precision farming and the some of these mods that keep coming out year after year and then finally make it into the game. Um, I think I think that's them testing it, seeing what works, how they need to make it work, what they need to do,
Well,
and
just seeing
it's
probably
like
more
I
what the
think,
community wants, I guess, too. That's another.
and I think irrigation will eventually happen. It's just that it's not, and I think this is probably the first step into actually bringing it in, and I can very well see now that they've made it into rice paddies that depending on how they incorporated that into the game, I could see modders putting it in the fields on their maps or modifying it and making it work.
Yeah. Well, it just seems like, like with the animal husbandry stuff and the things they've added and you can do there, just seems like, you know, laying pipe or managing pivots, turning off or deciding much water. And again, you can add the soil water conservation deal, so you're limited to so much water, so you got to make decisions about how and when, and
Mm-hmm.
they could design some weather in there to that thing. I mean, yeah, it sounds easy saying it, but um,
But then there you go. Like, okay, so what do you do there? Because um, say I don't want any of that. Say it's like I don't want any of that because that makes the game not relaxing anymore. It makes it too much
well,
like
I know,
real
but
life and
it seems like they could do it almost like how The Sims does. You can they have the base game doesn't come with things like seasons, weather, and all that. Um, but you bought it as a pack, but you can not uninstall it, but you can turn it on or you can turn it off. I would think. I mean, just like Minecraft, you can turn off, you know, certain on and off. Seems like that should be a thing
yeah,
to so you kind of play uh way you want.
yeah.
Because yeah, I could see how people might not want that, but then others probably would like that level of granularity. Because
You
I mean,
know, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, so 22 was basically the introduction of seasons into the game. I like they've had it as mods before, but it's actually brought into the game. Or I played, and I've done this with a lot of other versions too. I played it that way for well been out 2.5 years now,
yep,
and I've been and and now all of a sudden I'm finally to the point where I'm like I'm kind of tired of I kind of miss the old way of playing it without seasons.
yeah, just
It's like
drive around.
yeah, just I was like really what I really want to do is just have the field work and just I could care less about the seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
And who knows, maybe in like 3 months or so after playing for a while, now I want it more realistic again.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
But
I could say, I mean, I say that, but it's like I just would like to have the option to play around with
yeah,
doing here.
I don't know. And like I said, I mean, I what I saw was on the dynamic ground type thing. I saw a mod. I didn't see what the new version's gonna be like. I don't know. It was a mod and it was I think specifically made. The mud hole that they had was specifically made for the map, but I think whoever made it over exaggerated things a little bit on how far the tractor was going down into the mud hole. It's like, man, if your gate was right there, because that's what it was. They were going through a gate, And it's like, okay, I get you have a little bit of a mud hole there, but man, if your tractor's dropping down as far as that tractor is, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not getting through.
Well, well, it was kind of like the. Of course, I know that's a test map, but it's like, um, it, it's like that wouldn't. A tractor wouldn't be able to climb. It would have tipped over for one thing, if it could
Yeah.
even
No,
claw it. You know.
yeah, that map was like you said, a test map, but it's the it was to test the mods out. So if you wanted a map that you didn't care and you didn't care if you were making money on it and whatever, or wanted to see how the mod performed, you could use that map, but we obviously didn't use it that way.
Yeah, but it was fun to kind of. That was.
Well, and I kept the game save because we can always go.
Yeah.
We can always go
Well,
back and
and the
play
thing
it some
is,
more. I did take some of the mods off, so they won't be back. Some of the, especially the ones like the Honda bike
yeah, the
and
thing that
stuff.
doesn't work right. Yeah.
The things that didn't work, I took off there, and then I figure if we do go back, I might, if I have enough warning, I'd go in and see if I can find new toys to play with.
Yeah. Well, I had, because I've downloaded a bunch of third-party stuff from wherever long time ago, and so I threw some of those kind of mods in there for trying to mess around with. And I should maybe do my own thing, crawling around. The crawling course actually I found more fun than I thought. Just crawling around like,
Yeah.
and I guess that kind of got me to thinking like, yeah, I mean, whole expeditions thing, right? Because I kind of was thinking there for a while. It's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, is it going to be kind of tedious? Oh, air down, air up, or the winch out, or do this, or do that.
Uh,
And
no, not from what I've seen. No, not really.
because
It's
like I
just,
had fun just trying to drive a line,
yeah,
and I'm hoping that's what that game could be like. Again, I don't really want to maybe invest in it until we can have the option of multiplayer. So if we want to do that,
yeah. And all it said was coming soon. It didn't say
yeah.
when or anything.
Although I kind of
And
wondered,
then again, that's another thing I own on off of Steam. So that might be something better left to winter or something.
right? Well, and like I said, I could buy it now, and if they go, but I just probably wouldn't hardly play it by my lonesome. Stream,
Yeah,
I just, I mean, I could stream more nights, and I basically don't have time to do it. I do nights like myself, and maybe that's a challenge I should do come wintertime, because the days are short that and can't work outside, or maybe that's something I should set a goal, kind of like you did with gonna do this scream schedule and grind through, and there you go, you kind of built something. Maybe I should just try it, see if I could do, I don't know, 2 weeks, month, maybe a month, I don't know, and just, I wouldn't say every night, but like set, I don't know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or something,
yeah.
or whatever.
That's what I know. That's what some that's just some streamers. That's what they do. They pick.
Yeah, no, and I know it's just, I guess, I don't consider myself a game streamer. I do this so we can talk, and sometimes we
Yeah,
get onto some interesting topics or conversations, and nice if Derek got in. I did, once in a while. Maybe this winter he'll be able to get back in because that was sort of fun. Or hell, get Jason in, even if he can talk for that matter.
Yeah.
On it like this game or something. But because I just don't have a lot of time to do my more traditional videos as of late. I do like kind of making these little shorts and stuff with the C stuff, but even then, I don't always think to the camera out and do that because we're having too much fun driving them to
Yeah.
stop and like, okay, let me set my camera up. But I do have, and it's kind of crappy, but I do want to got some ideas to make some sort of POV type videos, like with an onboard camera. I did that one. I don't know if you saw it. It was more of it was a test more. Once I get my little miniature town sort of finished, built, and drive by it through it. Not sure how I idea to do what I'm doing, but I think it was because Tucker was trying to he had all these bricks and boards and was making building a shaft and stuff, and it's like stuff we could drive up to, with our C's and put some pickups, pull it from there. I'm like, okay, well, why don't I just make a bunch of like scale buildings and then we can drive to them and he can pretend all that.
Yeah.
It kind of, I think that's really how I got the idea. Really, literally that. So, and to a bit of yard ornaments because where they're going is a kind of been in a way no man's land, for lack of a better way to say. Like nothing really grows there, and trying to figure out what would be something add in some
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, make a trail around the yard that you can drive on and then go and crawl through the pond like I've done, and I'm gonna make some wood obstacle stuff. Time for get some ideas. It kind of like a teeter. No, just to test drivings.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, he's almost out. He's needing more. He's almost needing more performance than that one I got him has.
Hmm.
It's slightly better than the one you got Derek, just only because it's got proportional steering and throttle. It's not just left or right.
Yeah.
In the 2-3 years, however long it's been, they did upgrade that, and that's nice. But the suspension is. I mean, it's suspension, but it's not controlled. It's just springs. Front end is about wore the front end out, like the wheels are splayed out because hubs have worn in and stuff. We've driven them so much, and I need to replace it with like a metal axle. It's like $20. I just need to order it and then tear it apart.
Yeah.
And I'll probably upgrade it because it can be trips when you drive it and or something.
Yeah.
I've almost bought. I ain't sure that I ain't gonna, and it was a limited edition deal. So I can only find it on eBay because they only made so many of them. But there's this one company, makes a Wrangler, the square headlight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's in 1/10 scale, so larger. But this one RC company outfit that sells RC parts and cars and stuff sometimes makes custom versions using these type of models, and they made a Jurassic Park version. It's almost screen accurate. There's a few things wrong, but it's close enough, and I've almost bought that for Katie, and that has one. We can all,
Yeah.
but it's more in the scale of like your Emax almost. It would
Yeah.
be
Well,
huge.
1/10 would be.
Yeah. Only it's a it's a crawler and it's more scale realistic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I got it in a watch list, and it's got what I think's a decent price on it, plus it's make offer too. So, um, but I kind of want
Yeah.
for that reason.
All right. This is going to be the last load. I think because that little bit that's left there, I don't think it's worth
Yeah, I
coming
just was
back and
mowing
getting
just
this
to
time.
keep mowing. I didn't actually expect you to pick everything.
Well, I got everything else. And I've gotten it back. So
Really, that's all that.
well, these are large silo
Okay,
pits,
I was gonna
and
say, seems like it should. I would think it seems
when
ought to
and when Casual and I filled them up the first time, we found out you couldn't put any grass on the other side. You had to kind of fill both of them up to the top and then cover them. So, um, so I think that's what we'll probably do. Yeah, you have a leveler on the front, and then you have the silage compactor on the back.
yeah, and
And then with the dualies, they should make compacting even better. The other thing is, like, you sell this to the biogas plant, and well, I mean, I think I own the biogas plant, but anyways, either way, like, you can only fill it so full, and so basically, once I get these silage pits filled, if I were to play this game or this map that long, we'd have to take out the grass fields and um make them into something else that's productive. Because otherwise, they'll just be sitting there, unable to do anything. All right, I am going to grab. I'm assuming we're kind of done farming tonight.
yeah, I was gonna say this is probably good.
Okay, I'm going to grab a mulcher and then basically kind of set the map up for us for the next time around, whenever we decide to play. Um, this Edgewater that I'm gonna be playing, this map is gonna be kind of like Alma, Missouri, where it's like a bunch of odd shaped fields that you have to kind of work around in. But uh, well, and I kind of set. But if you're not gonna be around this weekend, I probably won't do it. They have because that's more of a northern thing. You swath the field and then pick it up with a, I don't know what kind of headers you call those, but You pick it up with those headers that pick up the swaths for the grain.
Oh yeah, we always just call it pickup head. Yeah, there's probably a different.
Actually, I think that's what they're called. Anyways,
Because they're not a draper.
that's what you do on this map, and then I've already kind of taken. So because it's in Saskatchewan, of course the growing season's really short, and then they set it up so that so the um so the snow when it snows was really deep. So I took all that stuff off. But anyways, like I kind of set that up because I figured like if you guys came in, that'd be something that Tucker might want to see just because it's different. Yeah, that'll help. Well, because we'll throw more on it. There's like
Figured.
there's two other grass fields on this map. Um,
Or did edge the height of the.
yeah, but you really, I mean, it's you really shouldn't need it so much. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, well, all that.
Sugar beets growing. If we're gonna do sugar beets, I'm gonna have to have you download another mod.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. Well, cut my stream here and then